There are moments in history that remain locked away, hidden behind a veil of mystery, waiting for someone to find the key. Tonight, we step into the forgotten worlds of the ancient Sumerians and unearth a secret buried in their ancient texts. It's a message left by the Anunnaki, those enigmatic gods who once ruled over mankind's first great civilization. These beings, revered as celestial architects, may have left behind more than just myths. Could they have embedded a secret code within their writings? A message lost to time now waiting to be decoded? As we dive into this mystery, let's pause for a moment. Hit that like button if you're as curious as we are. And don't forget to leave a comment below, telling us where you're listening from. It's always incredible to know where our community is tuning in from around the world. Now, with that said, let's step into the ancient past together, where history and secrets intertwine. The first clue is found in the most fundamental text of Sumerian civilization, the Sumerian king list. On these ancient clay tablets, we are introduced to a lineage of rulers, each with seemingly impossible lifespans, stretching back thousands of years before the Great Flood. But among these names, one stands out: Gilgamesh. While the mythological Gilgamesh is well known for his epic journey and quest for immortality, the historical record suggests something far deeper. The king list implies that Gilgamesh and those who preceded him were more than just legendary kings. They were divine rulers, linked to the very fabric of the Anunnaki's purpose on Earth. The strange nature of the Sumerian king list isn't just in the reigns of kings who lived for tens of thousands of years. It's the odd coincidence of Gilgamesh's rule, placed squarely between these ancient kings of impossibly long lives and those who came later with more reasonable reigns. What does this tell us? Is there something more to these rulers? Could the Anunnaki have left behind a deliberate pattern, hidden within the list itself? To understand this, we need to explore the link between the Anunnaki and the creation of civilization. The Anunnaki, as detailed in their own sacred texts, were not merely gods. They were celestial beings who engineered humanity. Their purpose was clear: create a workforce. Their very existence was tied to controlling the affairs of the world, and by doing so they ensured that humanity would be both their servants and their creators. The story of the Anunnaki is one of power, manipulation, and a deep, unspoken code embedded within their rituals, structures, and laws. Their relationship with mankind wasn't out of love or benevolence. It was for control, for labor, for order. And it's this very control that becomes evident in the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation epic. In this powerful narrative, we find the gods themselves engaged in a cosmic struggle, creating not just the world, but a very specific order. Marduk, the god who would eventually claim supremacy among the Anunnaki, battles the primal chaos of Tiamat and brings order to the universe. But his victory isn't just one of cosmic significance. It lays the foundation for everything the Anunnaki would later do on Earth. This epic, like the Sumerian king list, isn't simply a myth. It's a cosmic blueprint, a secret message from the gods themselves. And it's here, in the telling of this epic, that we find the key to understanding the Anunnaki's true nature. To fully decode the message, we must dive deeper. The Enuma Elish mentions a place called Nibiru. It's not just a planet. It's a cosmic marker, a point of transition, an anchor in the heavens. Nibiru is described as the crossing point of celestial paths, a place where the gods intersect. Some scholars suggest Nibiru isn't a literal place, but a metaphor for a divine system. Could this point of transition be symbolic of a greater purpose? And what does it mean for our understanding of the Anunnaki's purpose on Earth? Was it simply the physical alignment of planets? Or was Nibiru, in some way, tied to the cycle of time, human evolution, and the hidden messages woven throughout Sumerian texts? In the mythological landscape of the Anunnaki, nothing is ever as it seems. The gods may have controlled the heavens, but they also influenced humanity in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. The texts they left behind contain more than just stories. They are intricate blueprints for understanding not just the past, but our future. This code, perhaps hidden in plain sight, is designed to unlock something deeper: the true purpose of humanity, our origins, and the potential power we may one day claim. As we continue this journey into the heart of ancient Sumer, let's keep our eyes open for the clues that have been hidden for millennia. The message from the Anunnaki is still out there, waiting for those who are willing to look beyond the surface, to decode the signs they left behind. The key to understanding it may lie within the ancient texts, but it will take more than just reading their words. It will take unlocking the code that binds us all to the stars. Now, before we dive even deeper, let me ask you, should I continue with the next part of this journey, exploring even more secrets hidden in the text of the Anunnaki? As we continue our journey through the ancient records, we must turn our attention to the enigmatic role of the Anunnaki in shaping human civilization. They didn't just create us, they shaped our very nature, imposing a system on us that has lasted through the ages. These gods were not content with merely influencing events. They designed the very fabric of society, engineering a hierarchy that served their interests. This structure, woven into the fabric of human life, is reflected in their texts, and embedded within these writings is a code that tells us more than just stories of gods. It reveals the blueprint for the civilization they built. The Sumerian texts speak of the Me, sacred laws and principles that governed not only the gods, but also humanity. These Me were the building blocks of civilization, codes of law, kingship, wisdom, and even societal norms. One of the most significant stories involving the Me is the tale of Inanna and Enki. Inanna, the goddess of love and war, travels to Enki's domain in Eridu, where she seeks to steal the sacred Me. Enki, the god of wisdom and knowledge, is tricked by Inanna into giving her the Me, symbols of power and divine authority. But this is more than just a myth. It's an allegory for the transfer of power and knowledge from the gods to humanity. Inanna's act of acquiring the Me represents a cosmic shift. It's the moment when humanity begins to inherit the divine order. The Me were not just laws. They were the essence of civilization itself, handed down from the gods to the people. They were the tools that allowed humanity to form governments, create cities, and develop culture. And as Inanna took these Me, she not only gained power, she also symbolized the human race's inevitable rise toward knowledge and autonomy. But the Me were not without their consequences. The story of Inanna's theft speaks to a deeper truth about the relationship between humanity and the gods. It shows that power, once granted, is not easily controlled. As Inanna returns to her city, the gods' anger erupts. She is forced to descend into the underworld, a journey that represents the consequences of taking too much. This descent, however, is also a cycle, a reminder that all civilizations rise and fall, and that the knowledge and power we inherit come at a cost. This journey into the underworld is not just symbolic. It's an essential part of understanding the hidden code left behind by the Anunnaki. Their stories don't just tell us about their power. They also warn us of the dangers of unchecked knowledge. The gods understood the weight of their wisdom. Inanna's descent is a metaphor for humanity's own cycle of growth and destruction. It's a code embedded in the fabric of Sumerian thought, one that continues to resonate throughout history. But the Me are not just relics of a bygone age. They are a symbol of the ongoing relationship between humanity and the cosmos. The Anunnaki, in their role as cosmic architects, set the stage for a never-ending dance between order and chaos, growth and destruction. The Me were their way of guiding humanity, ensuring that civilization would evolve according to their will. But what if the Me are not just tools for control? What if they are keys, codes left for us to decipher? In examining the me, we uncover a truth about the Anunnaki's deeper purpose. These gods didn't merely govern, they engineered civilization as a laboratory for their own experiments. The me were not static, they were dynamic, adaptable to the changing needs of society. They were a code, a system of laws and principles designed to manipulate and guide the development of human civilization. But what's most compelling is that these principles, encoded in the texts of the Anunnaki, have shaped the very foundation of the modern world. Our systems of law, governance, and culture owe their existence to the knowledge passed down by these ancient beings. The me represent the intersection of divine power and human ambition. They show us that civilization was never an accident. It was a design. A plan executed by beings who understood the cyclical nature of creation and destruction, and who left behind a message for those who would come after them. That message is encoded in the very fabric of Sumerian society and in the texts that have survived through millennia. As we continue to explore this ancient code, it's impossible to ignore the fact that the Anunnaki were not simply gods, they were cosmic engineers, shaping the world in ways we are still trying to comprehend. The power they wielded wasn't just physical, it was intellectual. And it was this intellectual power that allowed them to govern the heavens, the earth, and humanity itself. They understood the fundamental principles that governed life, and they encoded these principles in the very structure of civilization. The legacy of the Anunnaki is far from over. As we unravel the secrets hidden in their texts, we uncover the possibility that their influence is still with us. The codes they left behind continue to shape our understanding of the universe, our place in it, and the knowledge we are still striving to unlock. As we push further into the heart of the Anunnaki's code, we begin to confront the most tantalizing question. What was their ultimate goal? The myths and records we have unearthed hint at a civilization so advanced that their designs for humanity were not just about ruling or controlling. They were about creating a legacy that would transcend time. The Anunnaki weren't merely seeking to establish dominion over Earth, they were laying the groundwork for a system that would ensure their continued influence long after they departed. But how? Through their manipulation of knowledge, through their understanding of cosmic laws, they set in motion a chain of events that would resonate throughout human history. The key to unlocking their ultimate purpose lies in the concept of kingship. In the Sumerian world, kings were not just political leaders. They were seen as direct representatives of the gods. The Anunnaki chose their kings not through divine right, but through their understanding of me, the sacred laws that governed all existence. A king to the Sumerians was a figure who could channel divine power, a vessel through which the laws of the gods were enacted upon earth. And through this divine rule, the Anunnaki ensured that their influence would be maintained long after their physical presence was gone. But it wasn't just about the kings, it was about the systems they created. The Anunnaki understood the importance of structure. The Sumerians, under their guidance, invented writing, mathematics, and law, tools that would forever shape the future of humanity. The creation of cuneiform writing, the world's first written script, was no accident. This was the beginning of a new era, an era where knowledge could be preserved, passed down, and manipulated across generations. Yet, within this new era lay a dark truth. The very systems that allowed for the transmission of knowledge also kept it under control. The Anunnaki's invention of writing wasn't just a gift. It was a tool of control. The earliest cuneiform tablets we have discovered aren't filled with stories of heroism or divine wisdom. They are lists of offerings, of resources, of labor. The first written records, it seems, were not about creativity or freedom, but about maintaining order, about keeping track of what was owed to the gods. In this, we find the first clues to the hidden message of the Anunnaki Code. The gods may have engineered humanity, but they did so not simply to rule. It was to create an infrastructure that could sustain them. By embedding the knowledge of writing, mathematics, and law into the very foundation of human civilization, they ensured that humanity would never forget its place in the cosmic order. The Mi were not just principles of governance, they were the foundation of the Anunnaki's plan for control that extended beyond their lifetimes. But what if the Anunnaki were also leaving a trail for us to follow? What if their texts weren't just about enforcing obedience, but about teaching us something far deeper? The concept of kingship was deeply intertwined with the celestial realm, but it also tied humanity to a greater, more expansive understanding of the universe. Could this have been their ultimate message? That humanity's true purpose is not just to serve the gods, but to unlock the knowledge embedded in the universe itself? The Anunnaki's code wasn't just about domination, it was about awakening. And this idea is reflected in their greatest myth, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, the man who sought immortality, wasn't just a king. He was a symbol of humanity's struggle to understand its place in the universe. His journey from a tyrant king to a man who understands the value of human life reflects the duality of the human condition, the desire for power, and the inevitable acceptance of mortality. But there's more to Gilgamesh's journey than just personal growth. His quest for immortality is mirrored by the journey of the Anunnaki themselves. These beings, who once ruled with absolute power, may have seen their own time on Earth as limited. Perhaps they too were searching for the answers that could unlock the secrets of the universe. In their divine texts, they left clues for us to uncover, fragments of knowledge scattered throughout the ancient world. These fragments are the keys to understanding their true purpose and perhaps our own. This is where we begin to see the depth of the Anunnaki's code. The Epic of Gilgamesh isn't just a tale of a king seeking immortality. It is a story about knowledge, about the eternal struggle to understand the universe, and to find one's place within it. The gods may have created humanity for labor, but they also imbued us with the capacity for wisdom, for discovery, and through their coded messages, hidden in plain sight, they have given us the tools to unlock that potential. As we decipher the ancient texts, we begin to understand that the Anunnaki's true legacy isn't just in the civilizations they built, it's in the knowledge they imparted. The secrets they left behind weren't just for the kings, they were for us all. The Anunnaki may have come from the stars, but their message transcends space and time. They didn't just leave us a record of their reign, they left us a guide, a blueprint for unlocking the secrets of the cosmos. The Anunnaki understood that knowledge is power. And now, as we uncover the fragments of their knowledge, we stand on the precipice of a new era, an era where we can finally begin to understand the true purpose of our existence. It's a journey that will take us far beyond the ancient texts of Sumer and into the very heart of the universe itself. As we continue to unravel the secrets of the Anunnaki, it becomes clear that their message was never just about history. It was about the future. Their control over humanity was not simply a matter of creating a labor force. It was about establishing a framework that would guide the evolution of human consciousness. Embedded within their texts is not just a code for governance, but a roadmap for humanity's journey into the cosmos. The Anunnaki may have come from the stars, but their message suggests something even more profound. Humanity, too, is meant to return to the stars. The idea of human ascendancy is deeply woven into the Sumerian myths, particularly in the story of the creation of man. The Anunnaki, as the stories go, didn't simply create humanity for servitude. They created us to carry out a divine purpose, to uphold the laws of the universe. Yet buried beneath these myths lies a deeper truth, the potential for humanity to rise above its origins, to reclaim its rightful place among the stars. The Anunnaki were not just rulers, they were teachers, guiding us toward a destiny we have yet to fully comprehend. One of the most profound symbols of this potential is the concept of divine kingship. In the ancient world, kings were seen not only as political rulers, but as intermediaries between the gods and humanity. They were the living embodiments of the Anunnaki's will, wielding divine power and wisdom. However, as we explore the rise of human civilization, it becomes evident that this idea of kingship is not merely symbolic. The Anunnaki encoded within their myths the idea that humanity, in time, could transcend the role of servant and become a true steward of the cosmos. The Epic of Gilgamesh is, once again, central to this understanding. Gilgamesh, the king who sought immortality, was not just striving for personal glory. He was a symbol of humanity's deeper desire to reach beyond its limits. His journey to find eternal life is more than a myth about personal mortality. It represents humanity's quest for knowledge, for a deeper connection to the divine, and for a place among the stars. Yet the ultimate message of Gilgamesh's story is one of acceptance. In the end, Gilgamesh returns to his city of Uruk and realizes that immortality isn't about escaping death, it's about leaving a legacy that transcends the individual. The walls of Uruk, built by Gilgamesh, stand as a symbol of the enduring power of civilization. These walls were not just defensive structures, they were monuments to human achievement, to the collective knowledge and wisdom that humanity could one day pass down. But Gilgamesh's story doesn't just end with his acceptance of mortality, it opens the door to a new understanding of life itself. The ancient texts suggest that through the knowledge of the Anunnaki, humanity could transcend the cycle of death and rebirth. This concept is reflected in the idea of divine inheritance. The Anunnaki may have created humanity, but they also passed on a profound gift, the ability to unlock the secrets of the universe, to understand the deeper laws that govern existence. This knowledge, once hidden in plain sight, is encoded in the very structure of our civilization. One of the most striking pieces of evidence for this inheritance is found in the Sumerian understanding of astronomy. The Anunnaki were not just gods, they were masters of the cosmos. The Sumerians, under their guidance, developed an intricate understanding of the heavens. They tracked the movements of the stars and planets with precision and encoded this knowledge in their texts. The stars in the Sumerian worldview were not just celestial bodies, they were divine markers, guiding humanity toward a greater understanding of the universe. The Sumerians understood that the alignment of the stars was not arbitrary. They believed that the gods, through their influence over the heavens, could guide humanity toward its divine purpose. And within this belief, they encoded a message for future generations, that humanity's true purpose was not just to serve, but to rise to understand the cosmos and to claim a place among the stars. But this message is not just limited to ancient texts, it continues to resonate today. The pursuit of knowledge, the exploration of the cosmos, and the quest to understand our place in the universe are all part of the legacy the Anunnaki left behind. Their influence is still present in the world, encoded in the very structure of our societies, in the ways we govern, in the systems we create, and in the knowledge we continue to uncover. As we venture into the modern age, the question remains, are we truly ready to unlock the full potential of the Anunnaki's code? Are we ready to step beyond the limitations they placed on us and embrace the knowledge they left behind? The path to the stars may be more than just a metaphor. It may be the ultimate legacy of the Anunnaki, one that has been passed down through the ages, waiting for humanity to awaken and claim its place in the cosmos. Now, as we stand on the precipice of this great journey, we must ask ourselves, are we prepared to embrace the full meaning of the Anunnaki's message? Can we decode the final secrets of their ancient texts and unlock the knowledge that will guide us to the stars? As we continue our exploration of the Anunnaki's legacy, we begin to confront the most pressing question of all. What happens when humanity fully decodes the message they left behind? The Anunnaki did not just guide early civilizations, they shaped the very trajectory of human development. Their influence, hidden beneath layers of myth and history, is a force that has continued to guide us to this very day. But the real question remains, what is the ultimate purpose of this cosmic knowledge, and what is it leading humanity toward? The Sumerians were not the only civilization to record tales of divine beings who descended from the heavens. Across the world, we find similar stories, tales of gods who brought civilization, knowledge, and technology to humanity. In ancient Egypt, the gods of the Nile bestowed wisdom upon the people, while in Mesoamerica, the feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl taught the secrets of agriculture and astronomy. The similarities are not just coincidental. They suggest a larger interconnected pattern, one that points to the same source, the Anunnaki. But if the Anunnaki were truly the architects of civilization, then what was their plan for humanity? If their goal was simply to create a workforce, then why did they leave us with such profound knowledge? Why were we given the tools of writing, mathematics, and astronomy? And why do these ancient texts, hidden in the dusty corners of history, seem to hold the answers to the greatest mysteries of the cosmos? One theory that has gained traction among researchers is that the Anunnaki encoded their knowledge not just to control, but to awaken humanity. These divine beings, with their immense understanding of the cosmos, left behind the tools for us to rise above our origins. They planted the seeds of knowledge in our civilizations, knowing that one day we would be capable of using these tools to unlock the mysteries of the universe and our own existence. The idea of an awakening is central to the Sumerian worldview. The Anunnaki were not merely teachers, they were gatekeepers. They gave humanity the potential to access cosmic wisdom, but they also understood that we would have to earn this knowledge. The journey of Gilgamesh, his quest for immortality, his trials and tribulations, is a reflection of this process. Humanity must first face its limitations, confront its mortality, and learn to embrace its true purpose before it can unlock the higher wisdom hidden in the stars. But what is this wisdom? What secrets lie hidden in the cosmos, waiting for humanity to discover them? The texts of the Anunnaki offer tantalizing glimpses, but the full extent of their knowledge is still out of our reach. However, the modern world provides us with the tools to begin deciphering this code. The advancements in astronomy, physics, and even consciousness studies are unlocking doors that our ancient ancestors only dreamed of. We are beginning to understand that the knowledge of the Anunnaki was not just about controlling the physical world, it was about understanding the fundamental laws that govern all of existence. At the heart of this knowledge is the concept of balance. The Anunnaki were not simply gods of power, they were keepers of cosmic order. The stories of their interventions in human affairs, from the flood of Gilgamesh to the creation of the first cities, are not just tales of divine wrath. They are reflections of the delicate balance that exists within the universe. This balance, once understood, is the key to unlocking the full potential of human civilization. In many ways, the Anunnaki were the first to understand the interconnectedness of all things. They saw the universe as a vast, intricate web, with each piece influencing the others. Humanity, in their view, was both a part of this web and a catalyst for its continued evolution. The knowledge they passed down to us was meant to help us navigate this web, to understand the forces at play, and to guide our own evolution as a species. But the question still remains, what was their true purpose in leaving us these messages? Some believe that the Anunnaki encoded their wisdom in the hopes that humanity would one day be able to understand and harness this power. Others argue that they left these texts as a form of protection, ensuring that should humanity ever fall too far, the wisdom of the gods would be there to guide us back. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. The Anunnaki, through their knowledge and influence, wanted us to learn not only to survive, but to thrive. In this sense, the Anunnaki's code is not a simple directive. It is an invitation, a call to action for humanity to rise to its full potential. It's a challenge to decode their teachings, to unlock the mysteries of the universe, and to ultimately realize our place among the stars. They didn't just give us tools to build cities or to govern, they gave us the tools to understand the very fabric of reality. And now, as we stand on the threshold of a new era of exploration and discovery, the question becomes, are we ready to unlock the next level of knowledge? Are we prepared to understand the true nature of the Anunnaki's teachings and what they mean for humanity's future? The message they left behind is more than just a history. It is a blueprint for the future, one that invites us to reach beyond the stars and into the very heart of the cosmos. As we delve deeper into the legacy of the Anunnaki, we begin to see the connections between their ancient code and the modern world more clearly. The key to understanding their influence isn't just found in the myths and stories. They are encoded in the very systems that govern our civilization today. What if the Anunnaki's message was not only for the ancient world, but was meant to shape the course of human history for millennia to come? What if their knowledge, buried beneath the layers of myth and time, is the guiding force behind our technological and societal advancements? One of the most fascinating aspects of the Anunnaki's influence is the sudden leap in human knowledge and civilization that occurred in the ancient world. The Sumerians, in particular, seem to spring forth fully formed from the depths of prehistory, bringing with them complex systems of writing, mathematics, astronomy, and governance. The question arises, where did this knowledge come from? Was it the natural evolution of human creativity, or was it a gift passed down from the gods themselves? The Sumerian me, the sacred laws and principles that the gods imparted to humanity, serve as a key to unlocking this mystery. These divine principles were not just guidelines for governance or moral conduct. They were blueprints for understanding the natural world, for organizing society, and for harnessing the power of the cosmos. And as we begin to look closer, we realize that many of these me are still deeply embedded in the systems we use today. Take, for example, the concept of time. The Sumerians, guided by the knowledge of the Anunnaki, were the first to divide the day into 24 hours and the year into 12 months. This system was not arbitrary. It was a reflection of their understanding of the cosmos. The number 12, which recurs throughout their writings, is significant, representing both a cosmic order and a divine structure. It's no coincidence that we still use this system today in our calendars and clocks. The Anunnaki's code, it seems, was designed to imprint their understanding of the universe onto the very structure of our world. This is just one example of how the Anunnaki's influence can be seen in the fabric of human civilization. Their knowledge was not just about how to govern, it was about how to understand the very forces that shape the universe. From their understanding of the stars and the heavens to their teachings about the cycles of life and death, the Anunnaki left behind a code that would serve as a foundation for humanity's journey forward. But this knowledge was not simply about understanding the world, it was about mastering it. The Anunnaki, through their divine wisdom, taught humanity to harness the power of the natural world. They gave us the tools to build great cities, to manipulate the environment, and to control our fate. The question, however, is whether humanity has fully embraced this power, or whether we are still only scratching the surface of what the Anunnaki intended for us. The Anunnaki's code wasn't just about civilization, it was about transcending it. Their teachings spoke to a deeper understanding of the universe, one that goes beyond the physical world and into the realms of consciousness, energy, and spirituality. They weren't just giving us the knowledge to build cities, they were giving us the keys to unlock the hidden potential within ourselves. This potential is reflected in the very nature of the Anunnaki's interaction with humanity. The Anunnaki didn't just rule over us, they sought to awaken something within us. They didn't see humanity as mere subjects to control. They saw us as potential beings, capable of rising to new heights of understanding. In their code, there is a clear message. Humanity is not meant to remain in a state of servitude. We are meant to evolve, to expand, and to transcend our limitations. But why? What is the ultimate purpose of this awakening? The texts left behind by the Anunnaki suggest that their true goal was not to rule over humanity forever, but to guide us toward a higher purpose, a purpose that transcends the physical world and reaches into the very fabric of the cosmos. They wanted humanity to understand that we are part of something greater, something beyond our comprehension. The Anunnaki weren't just teaching us how to survive, they were teaching us how to thrive in the cosmic order. As we continue to explore this hidden message, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to accept this legacy? Are we prepared to embrace the wisdom of the Anunnaki and unlock the potential they left behind? The knowledge they passed down is still available to us. It is encoded in the systems of our societies, in the very structure of our civilization. But unlocking this knowledge requires us to look beyond the surface, to question the world as we know it, and to seek the deeper truths that lie hidden beneath. The Anunnaki's code was not just a message for the ancient world, it was a message for us. It is a challenge to rise above our limitations, to transcend the boundaries of our understanding, and to unlock the secrets of the universe. The question is no longer whether we can decode their message, it's whether we are willing to use that knowledge to shape our future. As we continue to unravel the final layers of the Anunnaki's code, we come to a profound realization. The wisdom they left behind wasn't just for us to study, it was for us to apply. The teachings of the Anunnaki are not historical artifacts, they are living principles, waiting to be awakened. Their knowledge isn't simply a record of the past, it's a blueprint for the future. And as we begin to decode their secrets, we see that the path forward may not be one of mere survival, but one of transcendent evolution. The Anunnaki understood that true power lies not just in material control, but in spiritual and intellectual enlightenment. The key to their influence was not in their ability to shape the physical world, but in their ability to shape the consciousness of those they guided. Their teachings, encoded in the myths and laws of Sumer, were designed to awaken the dormant potential within humanity. They didn't simply want to create a civilization that served them, they wanted to create a species capable of ascending to the stars, of unlocking the deepest mysteries of the cosmos. But here's the challenge. To truly unlock the power of the Anunnaki's code, we must first understand the nature of the message itself. The me, the sacred laws and principles the gods left behind, are not just static rules. They are living, breathing forces capable of guiding humanity through the cycles of time. The Anunnaki knew that for humanity to evolve, we would need more than just physical tools and structures. We would need to evolve spiritually, to awaken to the cosmic order that governs the universe. At the heart of this evolution lies the concept of balance. The Anunnaki understood that all things in the universe are interconnected, and that true power comes from understanding this balance. Whether it was the cycles of the stars, the flow of water, or the rhythm of the human soul, the key to mastering the universe lay in understanding the delicate equilibrium that governs all things. This balance is encoded in the me and in the stories of the Anunnaki. To wield true power, we must align ourselves with the natural order, understanding not only the physical laws of the universe, but the deeper spiritual laws that govern our existence. This is where humanity's real challenge lies. For too long, we have been focused on mastering the physical world, building cities, creating technology, conquering the earth. But the Anunnaki's message reminds us that true mastery lies not in control, but in understanding. We must understand the universe not as something to dominate, but as something to coexist with. The Anunnaki didn't come to Earth to rule. They came to teach us how to rise above our limitations and to guide us toward a higher understanding of the cosmos. The question we must ask ourselves now is, how can we unlock the true potential of the Anunnaki's code? How can we apply their teachings to transcend the boundaries of our current understanding and step into the next phase of human evolution? One answer lies in the exploration of consciousness. The Anunnaki's legacy isn't just a legacy of technology and knowledge. It's a legacy of awakening. Through their teachings, they sought to awaken the divine spark within humanity, to help us realize our true potential as conscious, sentient beings capable of navigating the vast expanses of the universe. And it is through this awakening that we can begin to understand our place in the cosmos and embrace our role as stewards of the universe. Modern science is only just beginning to catch up with what the Anunnaki knew thousands of years ago. The study of consciousness, quantum physics, and the nature of reality is opening doors that were once closed to us. As we delve deeper into these mysteries, we are beginning to see that the Anunnaki's teachings were not just myths. They were lessons in the fundamental nature of existence. Their code is not a relic of the past. It is a guide to the future. But to unlock this future, we must first let go of the limitations that have held us back. We must abandon the old paradigms of control and domination and embrace a new understanding of the universe. We must shift from a worldview based on separation and competition to one based on unity and cooperation. The Anunnaki's Code teaches us that true power lies not in conquering the world, but in understanding it. The more we understand the universe, the more we align ourselves with its natural rhythms, the more we will be able to unlock the hidden potentials within ourselves and the world around us. This is where the real awakening begins. As we begin to decode the final layers of the Anunnaki's message, we realize that their true purpose was not to control humanity, but to guide us to the next level of evolution. The knowledge they left behind is not just a gift, it's a challenge for us to awaken, to transcend, and to realize our true potential. The Anunnaki's message is one of empowerment, but only if we are willing to embrace it fully. As we continue our journey into the final layers of this cosmic code, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to accept the challenge? Are we ready to embrace the knowledge left behind by the Anunnaki and use it to unlock the next stage of human evolution? The stars are waiting for us. The question is no longer whether we are capable, but whether we are willing to rise to the occasion. As we approach the final layers of the Anunnaki's message, it becomes clear that their code holds the key not only to understanding the past, but to shaping the future. This code is more than a historical relic. It's a map for human potential, waiting to be unlocked. The Anunnaki didn't just shape civilizations, they left us a legacy of wisdom, guiding us toward a higher purpose. And now, as we stand on the brink of this great awakening, the final piece of the puzzle comes into view. The question that has driven our entire exploration thus far remains. What was the true purpose of the Anunnaki? Were they simply advanced beings visiting Earth to impart their knowledge? Or was there something deeper at play? The more we study their texts, the more we begin to realize that the Anunnaki weren't just observers. They were architects of a grand design, a design that involved humanity's evolution on a cosmic scale. What if the Anunnaki didn't just want us to become great builders, kings, or scholars? They wanted us to transcend the very boundaries of our human form. The Anunnaki's knowledge, encoded in their sacred laws and myths, speaks to a far grander vision, the elevation of humanity itself. Their legacy wasn't simply about governance, labor, or the creation of cities. It was about awakening the latent potential within humanity, guiding us toward a higher state of being. To understand this, we must look at the larger picture. The Anunnaki understood that humanity's destiny was not just tied to Earth. Their teachings, their codes were never meant to bind us to this world. They were meant to prepare us for the stars. The myths of the Anunnaki are filled with symbols of ascension, of journeys to the heavens, of beings who traveled between worlds. These aren't just metaphors, they are clues guiding us toward a greater understanding of our place in the cosmos. The Anunnaki encoded their wisdom in the structure of ancient civilizations, but the true purpose of their teachings was to prepare us for the journey ahead. They knew that humanity's true potential lay not in conquering the earth, but in understanding the greater cosmic order, in unlocking the mysteries of the universe, and in embracing the idea that our future is not limited to this planet. The path to this cosmic evolution lies in the teachings of the Anunnaki. Their knowledge wasn't meant to be confined to a few elite rulers. It was meant for all of humanity. The me, the sacred principles they left behind, were not just laws. They were keys to unlocking the very fabric of reality. The Anunnaki didn't just want us to understand the stars, they wanted us to become one with them. This concept of unity with the cosmos is central to their code. The Anunnaki didn't just give us the tools of civilization, they gave us the tools of transcendence. Their teachings spoke not just to the body, but to the spirit. They understood that true evolution isn't just about technological advancement. It's about spiritual awakening. And this awakening is the final step in the Anunnaki's plan for humanity. As we look toward the future, it's clear that we are standing on the threshold of this awakening. Modern science, particularly in the fields of consciousness studies and quantum physics, is beginning to reveal that the universe operates on a deeper, more interconnected level than we ever imagined. The Anunnaki, with their vast knowledge of the cosmos, encoded these principles in their sacred texts, guiding us toward a greater understanding of the universe and our place within it. But to fully embrace this knowledge, we must be willing to look beyond the surface. We must understand that the true potential of humanity lies not in what we can build or conquer, but in what we can understand. The teachings of the Anunnaki weren't just about giving us tools. They were about giving us the wisdom to use them. The future of humanity is not about technology alone. It's about the awakening of our consciousness, the unlocking of the latent potential within us all. This is the true legacy of the Anunnaki, to guide us on our journey to the stars, not just as conquerors, but as enlightened beings, fully aware of our connection to the universe. Their code is not a static message. It is a dynamic force, constantly evolving as we unlock its secrets. And the time has come for us to embrace this knowledge, to step into the future, and to understand that we are not merely passengers on this journey. We are the architects of our own destiny. The final question remains: are we ready? Are we prepared to embrace the full extent of the Anunnaki's teachings and awaken to our true potential? The cosmic path is before us, and the keys to unlocking it are hidden within the ancient wisdom they left behind. The time to rise is now. The legacy of the Anunnaki isn't merely a collection of myths and stories. It's a dynamic force, one that has guided humanity through the ages, whether we were aware of it or not. Embedded within their sacred texts and their coded messages is the knowledge not only of civilization, but of ascension. The true purpose of the Anunnaki's teachings becomes clearer when we realize that they were not just giving humanity the tools to survive. They were preparing us for something far greater. The evolution they sought to ignite wasn't just a physical one, but a spiritual one. They wanted us to awaken, to rise to a higher state of consciousness, and to embrace the knowledge that lies beyond the physical realm. The Anunnaki's cosmic understanding was far ahead of its time. While humanity was still struggling to comprehend the mysteries of the earth, the Anunnaki had already unlocked the deeper secrets of the universe. Their wisdom, passed down through the me and their creation of civilization, was the key to understanding the forces that govern not just the earth, but the entire cosmos. They knew that to fully understand the universe, humanity had to transcend its limitations, to move beyond the material and into the realm of the spiritual and the intellectual. Their teachings, hidden within the texts of ancient civilizations, are the keys to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. The knowledge they left behind is not just about history, it is about the future, about the evolution of human consciousness and the eventual return to the stars. The Sumerians, under the guidance of the Anunnaki, developed the first systems of writing, astronomy, and governance, all of which were designed not just for societal order, but to open the door to greater knowledge. These systems, once understood, would allow humanity to evolve beyond the confines of Earth and begin to understand the greater mysteries of the universe. One of the key elements in the Anunnaki's teachings is the concept of time. The way the Sumerians divided time into hours, days, months, and years was not arbitrary. These divisions were deeply rooted in the cosmic order, reflecting the movements of the heavens and the cycles of the earth. The Anunnaki's code of time wasn't just a practical tool, it was a way to align humanity with the greater rhythms of the cosmos. By understanding time, humanity could understand the larger cycles of the universe, and in doing so, tap into the hidden knowledge that the Anunnaki had long since unlocked. This connection to the cosmos is also reflected in the Anunnaki's understanding of the stars. They saw the heavens not as a distant, unchanging backdrop, but as an active, living system. The movements of the stars were intimately connected to the rhythms of life on Earth. The Anunnaki's deep knowledge of the stars was more than just a reflection of their advanced technology. It was an understanding of the cosmic forces that governed all of existence. The knowledge they passed on to humanity was a gift that would allow us to align ourselves with these forces and transcend the limitations of our world. But this knowledge was not just meant to be passed on, it was meant to be activated. The teachings of the Anunnaki were encoded in the very fabric of human civilization. The systems they established, writing, law, mathematics, and astronomy, were all designed to unlock the deeper mysteries of the universe. The true purpose of these systems was not just to organize society, it was to help humanity awaken to its true potential. As we begin to understand these systems, we begin to understand the cosmic order and our place within it. The final piece of the Anunnaki's code lies in their understanding of energy. The Anunnaki were not just scientists, they were masters of the energy that flows through the universe. They understood the interconnectedness of all things and how the flow of energy affects everything, from the smallest particles to the largest celestial bodies. This knowledge was not just about manipulating the physical world, it was about understanding the very forces that govern the universe. By mastering this energy, humanity could rise above the limitations of the material world and unlock the full potential of our consciousness. As we begin to uncover these secrets, we realize that the path the Anunnaki set us on is not one of domination or control, it is one of transcendence. The true power of the Anunnaki's code lies not in what we can build or achieve through force, but in what we can understand and unlock through wisdom. The ultimate goal is not to conquer the stars, but to become one with them, to understand the deeper truths of the universe, and to use that knowledge to elevate humanity to its highest potential. The teachings of the Anunnaki were never meant to be fully understood in their time. They were gifts for a future civilization, a civilization that could unlock the wisdom and power hidden within the ancient code. And now, as we stand on the brink of a new era of discovery and awakening, the time has come for us to embrace the wisdom of the Anunnaki. Their code, hidden in the ancient texts, is not just a record of the past. It is a guide to the future, a map that will lead us toward the stars. As we approach the final revelations of the Anunnaki's cosmic legacy, we begin to grasp the enormity of their influence on humanity's path. Their teachings were not isolated to the ancient past. They were a timeless gift woven into the very fabric of our civilization. The knowledge they imparted was not just about controlling the earth, it was about preparing humanity for a higher destiny, a destiny that transcends time and space. The wisdom they left behind was a beacon, lighting the way for future generations to rise above their limitations and reach for the stars. The core of the Anunnaki's message lies in the understanding of the cosmos as a living, interconnected system. The gods themselves were not distant, ethereal beings. They were intimate with the forces of nature, the energies that flow through all existence. This understanding of energy, of the forces that bind the universe together, is the key to unlocking the true potential of humanity. The Anunnaki, through their advanced knowledge of the cosmos, understood that humanity could achieve great things, not through brute force, but through wisdom, balance, and harmony with the universe. The concept of energy, as understood by the Anunnaki, wasn't limited to the physical realm. It was also a spiritual force, one that connected all living things. By tapping into this energy, humanity could not only understand the natural world, but also transcend it. The Anunnaki's teachings were about awakening this latent power within us, helping humanity move beyond the limitations of the material world and step into a higher state of consciousness. This spiritual awakening is reflected in the story of Gilgamesh. His journey is not just one of personal growth, it is a symbol of humanity's quest for enlightenment, for the ultimate understanding of the universe. His search for immortality, his struggles with death, and his eventual acceptance of his mortal nature are all part of the larger story of humanity's evolution. The Anunnaki, through their intervention in Gilgamesh's life, were guiding him toward a greater understanding of life and death, teaching him that true immortality is not found in the physical realm, but in the wisdom and knowledge that transcend it. In many ways, the story of Gilgamesh mirrors the journey humanity must take. We must move beyond the desire for power and control, and instead seek understanding and enlightenment. The Anunnaki left us the tools to do this, through the sacred me, the principles of governance, law, and wisdom that have guided civilizations for millennia. These teachings were not just about surviving, they were about thriving, about understanding the greater cosmic order and our place within it. The final revelation of the Anunnaki's Code is that humanity's ultimate purpose is not just to conquer the earth or the stars, it is to unlock the mysteries of the universe and ascend to a higher state of being. This state of being is not one of physical power, but of spiritual enlightenment. The Anunnaki's message is clear. The true power of humanity lies not in what we can build, but in what we can understand. By mastering the energies of the cosmos and aligning ourselves with the natural order, we can unlock the hidden potential within us all. The legacy of the Anunnaki is one of awakening. They didn't just leave us a record of their reign, they left us the keys to unlocking our own potential. The knowledge they imparted is still with us today, encoded in the very structure of our civilizations, waiting to be rediscovered. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, we will find that the answers we seek were always there, hidden in the ancient texts, waiting for us to decode them and unlock the next stage of our evolution. The path forward is not one of domination or conquest. It is one of understanding and enlightenment. The Anunnaki's teachings are a guide, a map that will lead humanity toward a higher state of consciousness. And as we unlock these secrets, we will realize that we are not just participants in the cosmic drama, we are the architects of our own destiny. And so, as we stand on the edge of this great awakening, we must embrace the final lesson of the Anunnaki's Code. The journey of humanity is not about reaching the stars. It is about understanding our connection to the stars, to the very fabric of the cosmos. The Anunnaki, through their wisdom, have left us a blueprint for transcending the material world and awakening to the spiritual truths that bind us all. This is the legacy they entrusted to us, not just knowledge of the earth, but knowledge of the cosmos and our place within it. Through the knowledge of the Anunnaki, we can unlock the deepest mysteries of the universe and realize the true potential that lies within us all. Their message is not one of fear, but of empowerment, empowering humanity to rise above its limitations, to awaken to the truth of the cosmos, and to embrace our true purpose as stewards of the universe. The final key to understanding the Anunnaki's legacy lies in the realization that we are not alone in the universe. The gods may have left us, but their teachings remain. And as we continue to uncover the secrets of the Anunnaki's Code, we will come to understand that humanity's journey is far from over. It is only just beginning. As we embrace this final awakening, we realize that the stars are not distant, unreachable points in the sky. They are the symbols of our potential, the markers of the path we must follow. And the time has come for humanity to rise, to unlock the final secrets of the Anunnaki's Code and step into the future, not as passive observers, but as conscious creators of our own destiny. As the final piece of the Anunnaki's Code is revealed, we see that the true legacy they left behind was never just about their reign on Earth. Their teachings were designed to guide humanity to a future beyond our current understanding, a future that reaches far into the cosmos. The message is clear: we are not just a species born of dust. We are destined to become stewards of the stars. The Anunnaki encoded this knowledge in their myths, in the laws they passed down, and in the very fabric of our civilization. Their wisdom was meant to awaken us, to show us that our potential is limitless as long as we are willing to embrace it. In the final analysis, the Anunnaki didn't want to keep humanity enslaved to their will. They wanted to guide us to the next level of evolution. They wanted us to transcend the boundaries of our earthly existence and to unlock the greater mysteries of the cosmos. The ultimate purpose of their teachings was not control, but enlightenment. They understood that the only way humanity could survive and thrive was by aligning itself with the natural order, the universal laws that govern all existence. The story of the Anunnaki is not just one of divine intervention, it's a story of empowerment. Through their knowledge, they gave humanity the tools to transcend the material world, to tap into the deeper forces that govern the universe, and to rise to our true potential. This is the final gift they left us, the wisdom to unlock the vast, untapped potential within us all. The true purpose of humanity is not to be ruled, but to awaken, to rise above our limitations, and to become part of the greater cosmic order. As we continue our journey into the future, we are faced with a choice. Will we accept the wisdom of the Anunnaki and use it to propel ourselves to new heights, or will we continue to be bound by the limitations of the past? The code they left behind is a roadmap for our future, a guide that shows us the path toward a higher state of being, one where we understand the deep interconnections between all things and align ourselves with the cosmic forces that govern our universe. The time has come for humanity to embrace this code, to unlock the secrets hidden within the ancient texts, and to step into the future as conscious creators of our own destiny. We are not bound to Earth, we are destined to reach the stars. The Anunnaki's legacy is not just a piece of ancient history. It is a living, breathing force waiting for us to awaken to it. And so, as we reach the end of our journey through the Anunnaki's Code, we realize that this is not the end. It is just the beginning. The knowledge they left behind has been waiting for us, patiently guiding us through the ages, preparing us for the moment when we would be ready to embrace it. That moment is now. The stars are waiting, and humanity's journey into the cosmos is just beginning. Let us rise, let us awaken, and let us claim our place in the universe.